Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. Hopefully you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you are returning then also welcome. Clearly you are here because you have a love of cross stitch just like I do. Today is Sunday. Scratch that. Today is Saturday. I usually film on a Sunday, but today is Saturday. It is July 12th. And the reason I'm filming today is because I have a huge pile of stuff that I need to show you guys. And it's been hanging out here waiting for this video for a good week or so. So I figured, why wait till Sunday when I can just do it today? So let's see. It's been about a month since I was on here last. Last time I filmed, I did talk about how I had moved. So this is a different location, new house. And when you move, you go through all the things, right? I went through all of my WIPs, all of my charts, all of my project stuff, trying to figure out how I'm going to store all of my floss, all of my pieces, all the stuff. So in doing that, I have uncovered things that I totally forgot that I had. It's actually been a lot of fun. So I've been doing a lot of organizing, which I'll be showing you guys a lot of stuff that I've pulled from that organization. I've been watching lots of Floss Tube, which is always fun. A couple shout outs, because I brought my notes. So two of the Floss Tube channels that I've been watching a lot of recently. I don't think that I've ever shouted out Katie, but I have been watching a lot of Jeremiah's mom. Her name is Katie. She is fantastic. So Katie is also a member of the Magazine Monthly Challenge Cross Stitch Facebook group. She is a very active member and she helps keep my sanity during a lot of challenges because she helps keep some type of order and responses coming in on the messenger chats. Between work and everything else, I swear I just don't get to the messenger chats nearly as often as I want to. And every time that I zoom in there, Katie is always fantastic and answers questions and is just such a delight to have as part of that Facebook group. Her Floss Tube, which she recently started, is also fantastic. She is a ball of personality. She is always laughing. She shows amazing pieces. And of course, she always has pop-ins from her son, Jeremiah, hence Jeremiah's mom. Both are amazing to see. Just watching their camaraderie and their relationship while talking about stitching is just awesome. So if you haven't watched that channel, go check it out. The other one that I have been watching is Amy Loves Toads. So that channel has been around for some time, and I say that because I remember that that was a Floss Tube channel that I started watching way back when I first started Floss Tube. It was one of the, I'll say one of the OGs that I used to watch every single time that she would post. And I don't know what happened, but she just kind of fell off my feed, and then I rediscovered her channel. And it's still amazing. She does lots of pieces that have nature and like interesting nature. Not that all nature isn't interesting, but she does like bug pieces and older bird charts and toads, right? Because Amy loves toads. So it's a really fun channel to watch. So I've been getting caught up with both of those channels. Yeah, I think that's it for the world of Floss Tube. So let's talk about this huge pile. This pile, we'll just start at the top and see what we dig into. You can't really see just yet, but she might make her way over. My dog, Squatch, is sitting on my lap right now. It's gonna be very interesting to figure out how on earth I'm going to show everything like over the top of her. Actually, here, I'll show you. Ready? Say hello. Yeah, hello. I know. She's asking me, why did you just move me from my slumber? So, okay. So she's gonna stay on my lap and I'm just gonna work around her because that's what we do when we have pets. All right, first one up on top is a piece. We'll start with the stuff I've been working on over this last month. So, all right, this first one is a piece from Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is the issue here. This is a more recent issue. It is, I don't know, spring 2025, I think. And I changed the colors on this one, but It is supposed to look like this. It's called Quaker Posies. It's very springy whenever it's in greens, right? It's all green and it is very springy. Mine is not springy. Mine kind of looks a little bit more fancy and proper because I chose to stitch mine in a DMC red. So I'll show you mine. We are here. Looks like this. So this piece is really pretty. I really enjoy the like cream colored background. The fabric I'm stitching it on is just a piece. Actually, I might have it in here. Let's see. There it is. It is a piece of coconut macaroon 34 count legacy linen that I found when I was thrifting, which is great. And then I am stitching it in DMC 347. So I was really in the mood to stitch something in red. I didn't necessarily want to stitch a full sampler with an alphabet and all of those things, because you all know how I usually feel about that. So instead, when I saw this piece, I thought it would look really pretty if I stitched it in red, and it does. So it will be a fairly simple piece to finish. Put this behind it because of the sun, but it's moving right along. This first motif is done. This motif is done, and I am working on, there's a big giant one right here. It's a big diamond. So that's what I plan to keep working on throughout this week. All right, next up is my travel piece. So I have done a lot of traveling for work and whatnot over the last month. Just about every weekend except for the weekend of the 4th, I had been gone. And so while I was busy working, I didn't get a whole bunch of cross stitching in, but I did get some work done on my travel piece. So right now my travel piece is Silver Creek Samplers on the naughty list. And let's move these threads out of the way. Looks like this. I have gotten we officially have some boots. The boots are done. So last time you guys saw this, I had the black part of the boots done in this little piece of, I think this is gonna be parchment paper. I had a little bit of the outline of the gray, like the gray done, but just a little bit. So I finished all the rest of the gray, and I've done all of the white fill-in, and I'm starting in, there's a little dog over here on the white that's on that dog. So that is where we're at with the travel piece. This will get quite a bit of love, as I do have some car travel coming up in the near future. So we'll see. Maybe that thing will be done by Christmas just because of travel time. You never know. You never know. All right, next up, something I've been working on over this last month that's actually a finish. So very exciting. I was working on Comfort and Joy by Misty Purcell. It was in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This one here. Go to the actual page. Okay. Theirs looks like this. Mine is finished, and it looks like, ta-da, this. This was so much fun to stitch. I stitched it on a piece of Aida, it's like Natural Aida, I think is what it was called, a Charles Craft Natural Aida, an older piece, the style or the kind that you used to get from like Michael's or Joann's, and I used the called for colors, the DMC that I had in my stash, and it turned out great. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna fully finish it yet. I'm hoping that it's gonna fit in some of the Christmas or winter type frames that I have. It will not end up on the bird wall unless it's Christmas time, but it will end up framed this year, and it will come out over the next year. I'm trying to figure out the best, there we go, that'll work to show it. But look how cute that bird is. I just love it. I love it, love it. So that was a really fun stitch and a really fun finish. If I could only zoom this video out to show every time that I pick something up to show you, my dog is looking at it like, what is this? Is it for me? She thinks every single thing that I show you guys is actually for her. So that's pretty cute. All right, next up, let's see. Okay, next up is E Pluribus Unum. And get the chart out for you. So E Pluribus Unum, it is by Jan Hicks Creates. Will eventually look like this. I truly love this pattern. I love the pinks. I love the dainty flag. Normally when I think of an American flag, I think of course, red, white, and blue. So I just really enjoy this feminine twist on it. It's beautiful. So I am stitching mine. There we go. I'm stitching mine with all the called for colors because again, I just got done saying how much I love all of her colors. And I am this far. Oh. Put a thing behind it. Here we go. We are here. So I got through in the sea of stars, right? I am almost through the next row. We're already through the words. Last time you guys saw this, I had the words done. I think this row of the sea of stars, and I had just been starting on this light pink color. So how I'm stitching this one, just so I don't get bored, is I'm doing, I pull one, strand of the blue, and I stitch until that strand is complete. So all 8 pieces of floss, I just keep stitching until that entire strand is used up. Then I go to one of the colors or one of the other lines, and I'm stitching that whole line. So right now I've got all of this like light pink mauve-y color, and I'm just starting in on a darker pink that's going in between. And then I'll go back to blue. So in the end, hopefully by the time I finish all of the sea of stars, I'll have a good amount of the other colors complete. And yeah, so that is E Pluribus Unum. This is a really fun piece to stitch, even though it's a lot of blue. I really have to pay attention when I'm doing those stars because otherwise I get to stitching all the pretty blue and then I look down and realize I skipped the entire star and have to undo it because it's not really a piece you can fudge, right? Everybody knows what the American flag is supposed to look like, so you can't have 48 stars. That probably won't work. So every time I'm showing you guys something, then I'm putting it in the table in front of me, so that way I don't have all of this stuff fall down. We'll see how it works in the end. All right, let's see, what is next? Next is finish number 2. So this is an old one, and it was a very exciting finish. I'm gonna go to it in the actual magazine. I will tell you, my finish looks nothing like theirs. Here we go. So this was Pumpkin Harvest in Just Cross Stitch magazine, October 2020. This guy here. They say it will look like this. So I chose to work on this as part of, I think, 2 different specialty pop-up challenges in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. The first one was probably one, Oh My Gourd, where you have to stitch on something with a pumpkin. And I think I also chose this one because I knew that the following year we would have Be My Specialty, which is where you do specialty stitches. And this piece has a ton of specialty stitches. So it was a fun one to stitch. But I will say, you can tell that some of the stitches, they were my first time doing those specialty stitches. So it's not the cleanest, but I'll figure out some way to finish it and it will be beautiful. All right, so I chose to stitch mine on a piece of brown Aida that I had in maybe one of my Mill Hill kits with whatever floss I had in my stash. Looks like this. So you can see I've got some of these different specialty stitches, which are really fun to learn on. I think I started with these ones and they were a little wonky. Oh no, I started up here and then I did this one, and then I think, yeah, I did these three and then these three. So when I look at them in person, these three look a lot cleaner than these three, but we got there. Then as I was stitching this piece, the floss that I used for the back stitching of the vines, I ran out of that color floss. And I literally had like this much left, like hardly any at all. And so I reached out to my friends Carolyn and Andrea, and I asked them if they had any more of this particular floss. It was a, well, let's see, what was it? It was a Classic Colorworks in hazelnut, because I didn't want to have to buy a whole nother skein for like this much. And it turns out my friend Andrea, she came to the rescue and she mailed me a piece of floss. Well, during that time, I think it was probably like right before moving out 2 houses ago, all kinds of things were occurring in my life. So I got the floss and then I lost the floss and then I refound the floss, but I didn't know where this piece was. So eventually the floss and the piece got reunited when I moved here and went through all the stuff and I finished it. So I'm thinking this will be a really cute like maybe a cushion or something. I'm gonna finish this in some kind of a fun way because it's really just like fall decoration with the colors and some pumpkins, and a good memory of the time that I was in need of a piece of floss and my friend came through. So happy to have this one done. In going through this particular Just Cross Stitch magazine, I also found quite a few other pieces for the fall that I can't wait to stitch, but more on that some other time, because if you see this giant pile next to me, I have plenty to keep me busy. All right, next up, ooh, we almost had an avalanche, almost. Okay, next up is Cat Tarot 6, The Lovers by Dirty Annie. Will eventually looks like this. I am stitching this for my stepdaughter, and I think it will match a lot of her decor, and it's just fun, right? Like only Dirty Annie would think, let's make some tarot cards and replace them with cats. Only she would think of that. And you're getting a spoiler alert for another piece behind me, but that's okay. So Cat Tarot. So I am stitching my Cat Tarot on a piece of 40 count Ashley down linen in the color Tabby Cat. Let's put this behind it. I moved the Q-snap just a bit, but I am here. Let's move it to the side so you can see it better. Okay. So obviously the Q-snap is covering the top, but we made quite a bit of progress on this piece. The whole cat, with the exception of the eyeballs, I'm debating on which color to use for the eye. She actually has a black cat, and it's black with a little bit of white, and I need to find out what color the eyes are. I wanna say they're green, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm waiting on that to do the eye color here. But I did get all of, like, I don't know if it's swirling air or what that's supposed to be, but I got all of that done. And then we have the top part of the flowers completed, as well as I think there's like a snake in a tree or something over here. Got that going, and then starting in on this volcano down here. So my goal on this is to have this done before her birthday. Her birthday is next month. So this is gonna be staying on the Q-snap and staying on the rotation. Okay, I had to pause because my dog found her toy. And I don't know how that's gonna sound in the background of this video. So if you heard a squeaky toy, That was just the dog. So anyway. Okay, so this is Cat Taro. This is gonna stay in the rotation. I've been working on this every day for at least 30 minutes just to see how far I can get, and it might be possible to have it finished. Okay, so it might be possible to have it finished because I say just, it's actually quite a bit, but we have the rest of this little bush right here to fill in, both of these cats, and the bottom of this volcano and all the grass. So it will definitely not be done before August, but maybe by her birthday, maybe. We might be able to get there. It actually stitches up pretty quick because there's a lot of blocks of color, but we'll see. If anyone knows me, for example, my friend Carolyn from Czech Stitch, she knows I tend to underestimate the amount of time that things will take. So I might feel like it'll be done next week, but I'll be happy if it's done in the next month. We'll see. All right, next up, the one that you guys have had a spoiler alert on is the Lola Crow piece. I am working on the Lola Crow Sal. I am way behind. I got a lot of progress done on the cage before the Sal even started, and I haven't even touched this thing since then, but it is something that I will be working on this month because I do have it slotted for a couple things for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. So it's on the top of this pile, so I will at least show you guys where I am at. I don't have a copy of the pattern handy because I am using Pattern Keeper, and I'm filming on the device that holds the pattern, so I don't know how to show that just yet. But I feel if you've been watching Flosstube at all, you have probably seen this piece many a times because everybody is stitching it because it is amazing. So it's the Lola Crow Extraordinary Birds, and I literally just have the cage. That's where we're at. Not even the whole cage, just a piece of the cage, but we're there. If I could get this cage finished this year before I even started on the birds, I'll be totally happy. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I am stitching mine with the called for colors, and let's see if I have the name of the fabric handy. There it is. I am stitching it on a piece of 18 count oyster shell Aida from Fox and Rabbit, and I got that as part of the Fabric of the Month Club through Garan Stitchery. It is a really nice color and a really nice piece of fabric. I love all of my Fox and Rabbit fabric, is just amazing. Okay, so that is it for pieces that I have been working on over this last month. Next up, I'm going in kind of a weird order here. So next up I have haul, because the haul also talks about what I am planning to work on in the month of August. Then we'll do the WIP Parade, simply because it's on the bottom of this pile. So we'll get right to it. All right. Okay, on top, this is not really haul because I already had this in my stash, but I was through the Magazine Monthly Challenge cross stitch group on Facebook. Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group, there we go, on Facebook. I have my friend, is it Mandy Parker? Yes, my friend Mandy Parker. She did a post where she highlighted this magazine. Now, this is actually an old magazine. Like, mine literally says that I bought it. Okay, I don't remember. Oh, here we go. Volume 18, 2018. So it's old. Like, I literally remember getting one of the other Ultimate Cross Stitch charts or magazines and seeing that the next issue was going to be all about birds. So of course I had to have it. And I went to Barnes and Noble like every week waiting for this to come out until it came out. So I still remember that. So this is an older magazine. Anyway, Mandy actually found this magazine at her local Barnes and Noble just recently. Like, I don't know if they just found it in backstock or what happened, but or maybe they're putting it out again. I don't know, but she found it. So anyway, she put a post on the Facebook group talking about how she has this magazine, and that sparked the idea of wanting to find some pieces in here that we all liked, so that for my birthday month, which is August, we could all start a bird together. And so I haven't come up with a hashtag or anything like that yet, because to be honest, I'm terrible at hashtags and Instagram. But if you're part of the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, you'll see the post on there, and there will be some new posts as it gets closer. But the idea is to stitch on a bird in the month of August, and that the bird should be from a magazine, because the group was created to put some love back into our cross stitch magazines. And although we allow all different types of stitching, because all the stitching is great, I wanted to bring the focus back to the original point of the group, which was some magazine stitching. So I will show you the piece that I will be stitching on from this. And let's see. Again, I don't know why I didn't bookmark these. That was not smart. Let's see if it tells me in the beginning. It is okay, it's a good thing that I consulted the charts in the beginning, because the one that I chose is like the very end of the book. I suppose I could have done a flip through, but that's more of Seazook style, and I like watching hers more than I want to try to do one by myself. So, all right, I'm gonna stitch Little Helpers. I am calling it Laundry Birds, because how stinking cute is that? It's literally birds doing laundry. It's amazing. The birds are pulling stuff. They've got a rogue sock. There's a little bee. I mean, it just screams magazine stitching. It is so cute. It's so cartoony. I just love it. So I will be stitching this one. There is so many really cute birds in this book. No matter what your style is, it has it all covered. So if you happen to have this, then feel free to choose a bird and stitch along with me. If you don't have this exact magazine and you have any other magazine that has a bird on there, I would love to hear what you are going to be stitching, and stitch it along with me in the month of August. So August, I'm turning 41, which is crazy, but I'll be 41. So I figured 4 plus 1 equals 5. So I am gonna do 5 new starts. This is one of the 5. That's number 1. Start number 2. This was Carolyn from Seazook Stitch. This was all her fault. Luckily, she'll be stitching it with me because she was the inspiration for it. Is Parkington Manor. I did show this on the last video, but I have it in the pile because it's part of my plans for next month. So we have Parkington Manor Sampler by Rosewood Manor. There's a lot of manors going on there. I'll be stitching it on the called for fabric, which is a platinum color linen, and I'll be stitching it the 32 count because 32 is my favorite count. And then I got the called for floss because, again, it's the colors that really spoke to me, so that's what we'll be stitching it in. Starting that one in August. See, I think I wrote it in my notes. Yes, so the Sin City Cross Stitcher, that's another really great channel. So Sin City Cross Stitcher, she made a comment on my last video that she also has that chart. So she says that she may be inspired to start it. So I will try to inspire you and say, yes, you should start it. It is very pretty. And hold on. Even if all we do is this little teeny tiny corner, or I will actually probably start in the middle. So even if all I do is this little teeny tiny corner, if we all just stitch that much, at least we have it started and we can commence on it next year. So if anybody else has this chart and you want to start it, then let me know. All right, so that was number 2. Chart number 3 that I'll be starting in August is also a Rosewood Manor. So when I was purchasing Parkington Manor, I was online, I had to buy the floss for it, And of course I went to Rosewood Manor to figure out what flosses I needed, and I was inspired by all of their charts. I picked up another Rosewood Manor that of course I felt like I immediately needed to start. So this is Crosshaven Sampler. Looks like this. Probably should have pulled it out of the plastic, but you can't really see them, but there is these amazing like cranes or something going on down here. I loved this scene so much, and you know that I love yellows, so had to have it. I'll be stitching this. I haven't pulled the floss or the fabric yet, but I will be stitching from stash on this one, and I'll probably choose like a light gray because, again, yellow and gray, my favorite. So I will be stitching on a different color background, so you'll actually be able to see all of these guys here. But that will be start number 3. Okay, start number 4. Start number 4 is actually going to be something that I'm going to stitch for somebody else. It's From Velvet to Linen by Kathy Barrick. When I showed some of my cross stitch friends this chart, they all commented that it looked a little prim for me, which is true. I don't really stitch a whole lot of prim pieces. I prefer the brighter colors. Looks like this. But number 1, it's beautiful. Number 2, look at the flowers. And number 3, nope, this side's better. Number 3, it's going to match my friend's living room perfectly. Her entire living room is done in, you know, reprints of course, but like older artwork like this with the gold frames, the whole 9 yards. I really think that she will love it. And so I'll be starting this one, even though in the month of August for my birthday. I'm starting it then because the hope is that it will be done before her birthday of next year. And her birthday is in like November, I think. So I don't know, maybe if it's halfway done, I can give her a half piece. We'll see. I just loved it and I really wanted to start it. So this is piece number 4 for August. And then piece number 5 is Cherry Magpie by Jessica Doisy? Okay, I don't actually know how to pronounce the last name. I'm pulling it out of the plastic right now. Maybe. Okay, looks like this. I do have some really obnoxiously bright fabric just like this. When I saw this chart online, I immediately thought, oh, I have some really bright fabric that I could actually use for this piece. And I love this bright blue in the bird with the fabric. It is just gorgeous. So I'll be stitching from stash on this one. I need to pull my obnoxiously bright background fabric and trying to match these colors the best that I can. This is in DMC, so that is great. Looks like there's one Threadworks color, but there is a DMC conversion, so I should be able to make something very similar to that. So what I will be doing tomorrow, because I filmed on a Saturday instead of a Sunday, is I am kitting up all 5 of these pieces. So I know I have plenty of fabric and I know I have plenty of floss after going through it all, so we should be good to go. And the only one that I really had to have the specialty floss for was Parkington Manor, and I've already got that purchased, so we should be ready to roll. So yeah, 5 pieces in the month of August. One of them is the bird piece from the magazine. The rest are for all different reasons. Pretty much all of them have birds except for one, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. All right, tiny bit of haul because I've got some fun bags and some fun things to show there. And then it's time for a mini WIP Parade. This might actually be a 1-hour video. I'm not sure who I am right now making a long video, but we might get there. We'll see. We'll see. All right. I think I've already shown this one. I have it pulled because I plan to start it at some point over this next year, and I wanted to pull all the floss for it when I pulled the rest. So this is City Lights by Boomerang Stitches. It's a pigeon in a spotlight. Like, I have to stitch that at some point because whoever decided to make a pattern of a pigeon in a spotlight is just a genius. So it's just great. I love it. It makes me smile every time. So I have that one out just so I can kit it up, and it was on top. Okay, next up is I have bought some bags. I feel like I owned a lot of bags, but some of them were just too big, or I've really started enjoying the bags that had the plastic on the front so I can really see what's in there, because I'm terrible about putting a tag on them. So I don't know, I fell in love with some bags, and so I picked them up. So let's see here. I bought, this is from Pop-Up Stitcher on Etsy. Yes, Pop-Up Stitcher. Let's see if this is her card that she sends. She has tons of really cute bags, and then she has the Thread Bestie, which she actually sent one. I didn't buy one. I bought a couple bags, and she just included one for free, and it's really nice. I'll be using it all the time. Looks like this. So, okay, so the first bag that I got, the back looks like this. It's a real nice pale pink and white. The front, of course, it's the vinyl bag, and it's the right size so it can hold a Q-snap in there. And then I loved how bright the colors were back here. It just really reminded me of spring, and I will be putting my yellow and gray piece will probably go into this bag here. So it's just really pretty. This was the Thread Bestie that she sent. So yeah, it's my Pop-Up Stitcher. Looks like this. It's got a little zipper here so you can, you know, hold some stuff in there. And then of course the inside is just the felt, so it holds your floss. And then it's got a little tab here for your needles. So I use something like this whenever I go on retreats, and it'll be really nice to put on my cart over here when I'm stitching in the living room to hold my floss before it goes into my ort jar. So I'm excited to get that in use, and it was really nice of her to include that. It was a nice little surprise. So I think I got 3 bags from her. I got this one, and then I got this one. This is like me in a bag. So the background, it's got birds, it's got sunshine, ribbons, flowers, bright yellow on the inside here. Yeah, all the things. Had to have it. She was having a sale at the time on her Etsy shop, so I think these were all like 22% off or 30% off. I don't know, but whatever they were amazing. So I got this one. And then this one already has a project in it, which I'll show you in a moment. Then I got this one. Shocker, shocker, more birds, I know. But it says little lovebirds. I'm not really sure these are actually lovebirds, but they're cute. Very Valentine's-y. And then the center, it's just got this pink fabric, XOXO. So that was cute. And then the project that I have inside is one that I will be starting this month, and it is by Owl Forest Embroidery. First Snow looks like this. I just love this piece. It is gorgeous. Try to zoom in. There you go. I have the chart, and of course, Owl Forest Embroidery, part of what makes them amazing is their really pretty floss. So I did buy the floss pack, and then I'm going to be stitching it on a piece of fabric from Stash. I don't know which one yet because, again, I'll be pulling all of the fabrics for all of these charts. It's pretty much my entire day tomorrow. So we have that. Okay, and then other bags. These over here. Okay. So some of the other bags that I got, I ordered 2 bags from Corey, from Crafty Corey Stitches. She makes bags that she sells at Acorns and Threads. And I sat at the table with Corey during the Cannon Beach retreat. Corey, you're amazing if you watch this. Hello, hopefully things are well, and hopefully you're making even more bags that I will probably order. But while we were there, Corey went to the quilt shop and she had found some puffin material, and she had a vision of making a puffin bag with a bright pink interior, which is very, very bright, but totally Corey. And of course I had to have one. So it's amazing. Brace yourself. Look at this. Look. Okay. So first, look at the puffins. The puffins are amazing. It is so bright and so happy. Corey was absolutely right. This dark pink material on the inside is perfect. She put in a little Cannon Beach 2025, so that way I always remember why we bought it and where we were, which for my memory, this is perfect. And then Corey always makes these little, the zipper pulls. She makes them unique for every bag. So this one, it's really pretty. It's like a pink, purple, blue. It matches perfectly. So I will be putting one of my new starts in this one. I don't know which one, but I am in love with this bag. This might be my favorite bag, my favorite bag of all. So, and I own a lot of bags, so that's amazing. I also bought another one from Corey. While she was there, she was talking about how she had just gotten some Star Trek fabric, and she was like, no one's gonna want one of these bags. I love the original Star Trek. I'm a little bit of a nerd in that way, so I had to have one of those too. So, Star Trek. More Star Trek. Space theme, very cute. And then the zipper pull, she pulled in the orange and the blues, very spacey with the star on the bottom. Super fun. I really love that one. Really love it. And then last but not least was actually some stitchy kindness given to me by Carolyn with Seazook Stitch. Carolyn has been going through her stash just like I've been going through mine, and we've been offloading some things. And she came across a bag which, when you first look at it, is totally Carolyn and also totally me. Look, see? Bright flowers, bright yellow, amazing. But when you really look at it, do you see what I see? Ants. I think they're ants. I don't know, but there's bugs. There's bugs in the fabric. So I actually kind of like bugs. My daughter loves bugs. I find it hilarious, the fact that Black Cat Stitchery chose to make a really dainty floral bag and stick bugs in there. Yeah, so she asked if I'd like it, and I said absolutely. So she mailed it to me. And she mailed it to me with a pair of my socks. So I'll show you the goodies that I got from Carolyn. But she said I can only do this if I keep my socks in there. So Carolyn, here's my socks. These old socks, I left these at Carolyn's house whenever I went to stay with her when I attended the Cannon Beach Retreat 2025. I have a habit of kicking my socks off in the middle of the night, and then I forget and my feet get cold and I put more socks on, and then I just end up leaving socks in whatever bed. So she found my socks and she mailed them back. So I thank you. They're now home and I can take them out of my bag. So we got socks. She also sent me Satsuma Street Christmas cameos. Will look like this. I don't know when I'm gonna stitch them, but they're super cute. I will end up making these a travel stitch piece at some point. Obviously after I finish my current travel piece, I'll work on these next. But this kit comes with the chart, and then it also comes with the finishing felt and all of that stuff. So thank you, Carolyn, for that. These will be stitched. In fact, you might even end up with one of these for Christmas one year. Maybe 2028, 2029, I don't know, at some point. Okay. I don't have any things falling over just yet. That is about it for haul and plans. Yes. Okay. We're into the WIP Parade portion. if you've made it this far, thank you. WIP Parade. So as I talked about before, I have a total of 39 WIPs. I have here next to me probably 20 that I hope to get some actual progress in over this next 6 months or so. So we will just start with whatever is on top. Some of these things have like hardly any stitching done on. Some of them I made some progress on. So let's see. Okay. Number 1. All right, the first one is I Stitch Alone at Midnight. Will look like this. I think I started this for Mania back in 2020. In fact, a lot of these I think I started in Mania of 2020 because I don't know what I was thinking. It was Mania and it was 2020. But I like on all these I stitched like this much and then that's the end, right? I never came back out again. So this is basically like a new start because I have this much done. I don't think that counts. That's like 20 stitches. Andrea, if you watch this, this is not a healthy start. She always tells me I need to get a healthy start on all my pieces before I put them away. That does not count. So obviously I started on this piece with this bright orange moon, and I won't be finishing this piece this year by any means, but if I could at least finish the moon, right? Maybe get a moon in part of this house or something done, that will be great. I'm not usually one for Halloween stitching. Apparently I was really into it in 2020 because a lot of the pieces I started had kind of that theme. But this one I still really like. I like the bright colors and I like the fabric. It looks like I'm stitching this on 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus. This is still a beautiful shade. So I am excited to see this one complete. It will not be complete this year, but it will get some stitching done on it. All right, this next one you guys have seen recently, or at least semi-recently. This is, I think I call them Cozy Critters. They are from Cross Stitch Crazy. This is an older magazine as well. Looks like this. And where are these Cozy Critters? Let's see. Page 58. Here we go. So Cozy Critters are designed by Tiny Modernist. They're designed to be ornaments. Looks like this. I am not stitching mine as ornaments. I'm stitching mine on a piece of Aida, and in the end I'll probably make them either cards or I don't know, I'll do something with them for Christmas, obviously, or for the winter. I have finished the penguin and I finished the polar bear. Apparently I finished the penguin in 2023. I did the polar bear before, so this was probably 2022. I need to date that one. And then I'll be doing the other two in these bottom sections. So this one is staying out because I would like to get at least one more of these guys completed this year. Those ones are really fun to stitch. They're really simple stitches. If you just kind of sit down and start working on them, they stitch up pretty quickly. So I really like those ones a lot. Next up, because I don't label my bags on the outside, if it doesn't have the vinyl front, it's like I don't know what I'm pulling out, so it's a surprise for me and a surprise for you. I knew what they were when I first grabbed these, but that was weeks ago, so I've forgotten. Okay, this one is Spring Forest Scrapbook. It is a collab between the Blue Flower and Lindy Stitches, two of my favorite designers. In the end, restitching all of these. I started this back in 2022 and I'm stitching it on a piece of Fiber on a Whim Silver Fox 32 count fabric. And according to my bag tag, thank you Carolyn, I started this at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. So I'm stitching it in a mix of called for and whatever DMC I had that was close. And I have started on, where did I start this one on? I feel like I'm missing, oh no, I'm not missing a piece. Okay, this one is these adorable deer. I started that one there. And I got this far. So I will be stitching all of them on this one giant piece of fabric. So probably because I started this at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which was the first retreat I ever went to, and I went with my friend Carolyn. You all know Carolyn likes to stitch all of her things together on one big piece of fabric, and so I think I was inspired by her, and that is what I'm doing. But that's as far as I got, and I have not taken this piece out since I did that start back in 2022. It's a really fun piece, and it's a really beautiful fabric, so I'm excited to get some work done on that again. You guys will be seeing this in the near future. Probably not next month because, well, I'll be stitching all those new starts, but maybe in September. We will see. Okay. What do we have next? Okay, up next, this is in my beautiful Garan bag with the birds and the flowers. I still love my Garan bags even though they don't have the vinyl front. This is Ghost Pumpkin. Will eventually look like this by La Di Da. And I am stitching this on Called For Everything because I got this at a retreat. So I picked up the fabric and the floss from the shop there at the retreat. And I am this far. I got this done while at the retreat and then a little bit when I got home. So I have the whole outline done and looks like most of the hat, if not the whole hat. But I have that big old pumpkin. So lots to do on that one, but I think it will stitch up fairly quickly. So I kept this one out. We'll see that. I feel like I want to leave this one out just to work on it sooner rather than later because I just think it'll stitch up so quickly, and I'm excited to get some Halloween stitching in for some reason this year. I don't know why, but I'm in the mood for Halloween. All right, next up, this was my original favorite bag. It's still up there, but it's just hard to compete with Puffins. This one is, to get all the way out here, this is Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. I don't have all of the charts to show you, but you've probably seen it before. So let me just show you where I'm at to start. And then I'll show you what I'm working on now. There we go. Okay. This might need a background, but there we go. Okay, so I am here. I have done the whole first top border or banner. That one is complete. And I am currently working on this block here, Douglas Fir. And we are this far along. So pretty far actually. I just have the rest of the car and a little bit of background fill in. So we are getting there on this piece. This one will be in my rotation in the very near future as well. For quite a while, I was keeping it in my monthly rotation to do at least 2 hours. I wanted to have this thing done by this Christmas. I am definitely not going to make that mark, but I would like to just continue to make steady progress on that. So it's a really fun piece to stitch. Okay, next up is, oh, this is a fox and rabbit design. This one is in another crafty Cory bag, looks like this. So this is Fox and Rabbit Witch's Hearth, looks like this. I got this at the same retreat that I got the Ghost Pumpkin from. That was the Stitching in the Wild retreat in 2024. And I'm stitching this one on a 32 count linen from Fox and Rabbit called Duxbury. It's the called for. Again, I got all the stuff for this while at the retreat, which is why I know it's the called for. And I am here. She looks extra creepy because she doesn't have an eye and it's a witch, but we are here. Creepy witch holding the little lantern and the beginning of a bird. So I'm really excited to get into her dress, although it's gonna take forever because there's a lot of stitching in that dress. I'm really excited for those colors and for that pattern. That's really the whole reason why I bought this piece, was just because I liked the pattern in the dress. So that will be really fun to get to. Okay. Let's see. Next up, I don't know why I kept this one out. I am going to get some progress in on it. This is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. This piece is ginormous. I don't even know where I left off, so we're gonna find out. I want to have these finished. I just have to find the willpower to work on them. So, I'm stitching this on a piece of Bestitch Me Lugana 32 count in the color S'mores. It's very pinky. Oh, okay. So I have more done than I thought, which is not much, but still more than I thought. We are here. So I only have one block done so far. Well, not done, but this is the one block that I have started. I have the outline. It looks like I have the fence post or the fence done, and then I'm starting in on what I believe is probably a house. So that is this block here. So I'm starting with this block in the corner. I clearly am rearranging the order. There. I was gonna say if I could just have one block finished this year, that would be great, but this block has the most stitching because of the background, but beyond maybe this block and this block, okay, and this block, well, there's a lot of stitching in this block. Look, these houses are ginormous. This is all filled in. Maybe not this year, but if we can get progress, that's what I'm aiming for. I got this during a time where I was in love with all the Hawk Run Hollows. I still love all the Hawk Run Hollows. I just don't know if I have it in me to stitch all of them. We're gonna see how I feel by the time I get through this one. We'll see. We'll see. But that's Hawk Run Hollow. I do own a few more, but the only one that I kept pulled out to get progress on this year was that one. So see that one. Next up, okay, this one I just need to finish already. It's ridiculous that it's not done. This is Temperature Tree. Mine looks like this. I am not going to stitch all of the leaves. I literally just need to finish the tree limbs. So this was the year, I've talked about this in previous videos, but this is the year that I went through, I got a divorce and just all kinds of crazy life changes. And so I just felt like it was fitting to have this side have the leaves and leave the leaves off the rest, because that's just what my life was like at that moment. Not sad, not bad, just it would be a good representation of that. So I literally just need to finish these branches, and it's just been hanging out in my to-do pile forever. So you'll be seeing this one in the very near future. I would really like to finish this one this year. But that is Temperature Tree. I really love the fabric that I'm stitching that one on. Don't ask me what it is right now, but when I take it out to start stitching, I will make sure to actually jot that one down. So I have that. Okay. This one. This is a travel piece that I will be finishing in the very near future. This is Mitten Kitten by Satsuma Street. Looks like this. Kept it out because it's almost done. I just have the beading. I need to get the beading finished. And it looks extremely creepy because her eyes are staring at you and they're not filled in, so they are terrifying. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep this one out because it'll be a quick finish. And as you see, I bought all those dang bags and patterns, and so I am in the hole, so I need some finishes. So this will help me with that in my Stitch from Stash goals. All right, we're getting somewhere. All right, next up, this is a really cute little Christmas bag. What is in here? I do not know. There it is. Okay, Scatter Kindness. An old Hinzite kit. Or not kit, but old Hinzite chart. What do I have in here? Let's see. Okay, so I am almost through the words and I still have to stitch all of the flowers. What's going on here? This has been all wrapped up for some time, and okay, I'm just going to show you this because it's kind of funny. Okay, so when I was putting it away, I still had the floss on a needle, and the needle went through and it actually like made a little loop in the fabric. No big deal. I mean, I just need to untangle it. It'll take 2 seconds, but I'll have to fix that. So until then, here's where we are. Scatter Kindness. I know it's very wrinkled. I have the rest of that S to go. And then all of the dandelions. All of this stuff down here. So who knows if that will be done this year, but when it's done, I want to take this one to my work. It'll be a really nice one to put in my office as just a little reminder that we should be scattering kindness every day. So looking forward to that. All right, next up is one that I started during Mania, which means I have almost nothing done on it. This is Mother of the Ocean by Primitive Hair. Looks like this. This is not necessarily my taste these days, but it's still a really cool chart, and I think I could do something really fun with it after I finish stitching it. So I'm gonna keep it. And don't ask me what order. This goes. I'm this far. I don't know if that's this way, could be this way. I have no idea. I will figure that out and I will keep it in the rotation. But this is clearly the whale. I'm just not exactly sure which piece of the whale. And let's see if I marked it on the chart. That will tell me. Let's see, survey says, ha! So you don't, yes. I can sort of see the shape now. It goes this way. Survey says it goes like this. So look forward to that. Like I say, these days I usually stitch more brighter color things with birds and flowers. I don't know, it's just an interesting chart. I really like it. And it would look interesting set up, you know, maybe in the fall or something like that. It would just, I think it would look nice. So I'll keep that one in the rotation there. Next up is a Rosewood Manor piece, a Spring Quaker. This is another one. I own all the Quakers. I don't think I actually own all the floss, but I own most of the floss sets. I've seen all of these completed and they're gorgeous. Again, it's one where I want to see it done. I'm just not sure that I love stitching it to do it. Last time I had this pulled out, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to bringing it out again. But it sat in the to-do pile for quite some time because I didn't love all the color changes. Now I don't mind it so much, so I think we'll get more progress done on it. But let's put this behind there. This is where we're at. So I have 1, 2, 3. I think this motif is also complete. This is a big one. This is a biggie. And I'm currently down here. So I'm almost done with one page. Almost one page down, many pages to go. Very beautiful. I'm stitching this on the called for everything. So picture this plus Valor 28 count linen. And then of course the amazing Valdani threads. These are so fun. So that is that one. All right, we have 4 to go. 4 to go. Okay, this is the Wise Old Witch, the little stitcher. Looks like this. Like I said, I want to do some Halloween stitching this year, so I kept this one out. This was another one that I started for Mania, which means I don't have much done. I'm stitching it on a 20 count even weave in the color Lilac Swirl. Just like the whale, not sure, this way, it will take shape when I take it out again, but I'm that far. This one I am stitching, I said it's on a Lilac Swirl even weave, and I'm stitching it in DMC, so it's like a dusty dark purple DMC. I have DMC 611 pulled. Oh, I guess that it calls for, I thought it was all one color, but it's not. So it's almost all one color. I have a deep dusty purple for this. And then this moon right here is actually a brown. So we'll see if I keep that as the brown or if I want to stitch it in the same dusty purple. But it should be a quick stitch once I take it out and put it on the Q-snap. So I kept that one out. All right, because I need some magazine pieces in my life, because I do try to stitch on those for the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, I have the World of Cross Stitching, this one here, and page 76. This is Spring Has Sprung by Claire Comerford. Yellow birds, flowers. Yeah. So that one is staying in the rotation. Stitching mine on a piece of Carnival by Picture This Plus. It's a 28 count linen. And got some progress on this one. We are here. So I'm doing the back stitching as I go, but I am finishing like the entire flower or the entire piece of the basket before I do the back stitch. So like this one, I have all the back stitching done on. I'll be doing the back stitching on this flower once I get the rest of the stuff around it complete. I don't love the back stitch, but I love the way it looks. So if I'm gonna do it, I have to do it as I go. But this will stay in the rotation and it will be used for my theme piece in quite a few of the upcoming challenges. So you will see more of this one in the near future. Okay. All right, down to the final two. Okay, I love this bag, but it's giant. So looks like this. It is by Whip It Up. And this is an Owl Forest embroidery piece, Autumn Flowers. Theirs looks like this. I bought the chart and the floss pack, but I am stitching it on a fabric that I had in my stash that is just close to theirs. And not sure what I have going on here. Okay, so mine is being stitched on a piece of 36 count Mystic Fabrics linen in the color Cocoa. This piece is so pretty. Mine looks like this. So look at that border. That border is so nice. There is a lot of color changes, but it is way worth it. So I have part of the border done, some of the flowers on the inside done. There's a lot done, but there is a lot to go. So lots to go on that one. But it will be well worth it. This will be one that when it's done will be framed and will be hanging on the wall in the house year round. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when it will be done, but it's definitely needs to come back out to get some more attention. That is Owl Forest. I just love their charts. I love them. Okay, last one, thank goodness, because I am woe surrounded by stuff at this point. Like, I'm not really one that likes a lot of clutter and a lot of things, so this is way too much. Luckily, when I'm done showing all of this, I am keeping all of these charts out in a basket that's in my closet so I can pull from them, and then I keep the ones that I'm working on for the month in my stitchy cart, which is right next to me, in a bin there. So it's much easier to work with. Plus at this point, my dog has given up hope at sitting on my lap, and now she's way over on the other side of the couch staring at me sadly. So she's ready for me to be done filming this video. All right, this is Birds of a Feather. Looks like this. This is my ex-mother-in-law had stitched all of these birds, and I still own that piece. So my idea was I wanted to stitch all of these birds to eventually frame so they can be side by side. And I was doing really good about stitching one of these a week. I kind of fell off that bandwagon, so I want to get that back in my rotation. Even if I just do one bird a month, that's totally fine. I am here. I still really love these. I don't even love hummingbirds all that much. Like, out of all the birds, they're not my favorite, but I like them. But they're really fun to stitch with all the bright colors. So we are here. And I am stitching this, it's just on I think a 14 count blue, like Charles Craft Ada. I'm stitching it on that because that will match the fabric that was used for these birds. So this will come back out. You will see it. You will see it in the future. You actually might see it next month. Since August is birthday month, it'll be a month full of birds. Okay, one of them has flowers only, but pretty much everything else I'm stitching next month has birds. So you will see that come out. And that concludes the WIP Parade. It concludes the video. I have tons of stitching, tons of floss tube watching. Real quick for plans, so Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge, we do an acrostic and a theme. So our theme is Bundle Up. So I always do a magazine piece for my theme. So my magazine piece will be the Cozy Critters to bundle up. So you guys will see that probably in my next video. And then the acrostic is Woolies. So I'll be stitching on Witch's Hearth, the Ghost Pumpkin. For Woolies has 2 O's, and the Ghost Pumpkin is Spooky with 2 O's. So I'm using Ghost Pumpkin for both of those O's. The L, I am doing Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House. I will be I Stitch Alone at Midnight. E is E Pluribus Unum, and then the S will be Spring Scrapbook. So many of the pieces that you just saw right now will be pieces that I'm stitching for my acrostic. And then, of course, you're going to see Cat Tarot because that is a gift, so I will be keeping that in my nightly rotation. All right, it's a lot of WIPs. It's a lot of stuff. I got through all my notes. I will be back on in a week or so. Knock on wood, I don't have any travel over the next couple weekends, so I'm really excited to actually be home and be able to connect with all of you guys. So leave a comment, all the things, and come check us out on Facebook if you have Facebook. If not, I'm on Instagram sometimes, but Bird's Eye Stitches, you can follow me there. Really, I just go on there and follow everybody else, but it's fun to see. So happy stitching, everybody. Happy July, and I will see you next time I see you.